Welcome to Dump Anxiety channel. For those who don't know me, some of you may, but for those who don't know me, it's been around 6 years now since I fully recovered with anxiety, and anxiety never came back. And it's been around 5 years since I started helping people to also recover using the same methods, using the same approach. Okay, what was my anxiety? How did my anxiety look like? Well, originally, I was diagnosed with generalized anxiety, panic attack disorder, OCD, agoraphobia, and health anxiety and hypochondria. And of course, I tried everything that people normally do. I went to a psychologist. In Europe, we don't have therapists, so I went to a psychologist, actually 4 of them. Tried CBT, tried healing the inner child, tried talking about my childhood and all the past things and everything, and it didn't really help me. Now, looking back now, so many years later after I recovered, I no longer blame the psychologists. I no longer blame the tools they were using like CBT and all of that. I just understand that I didn't have the knowledge I needed to have to use it effectively. I didn't have the right expectations. And to be honest, for a big part of me trying to fix anxiety through psychotherapy, I was kind of victim and I wasn't really willing to do what was required of me. Either way, when things got really, really bad and I became fully agoraphobic, which I was for almost a year, and I had 24/7 panic attacks all the time, nonstop. Like either I was having a panic attack or my body was gearing up to have one. I also experienced a lot of digestive issues. Those were probably my worst symptoms. Panic attacks were the scariest, but the digestive issues were the ones that complicated my life the most for a very, very long time. Actually, my digestive issues appeared like a couple years before I had my first panic attack, and they were just like increasing and getting worse. But apart from that, I had like pretty much anything that people with anxiety experience, most of it. I had tinnitus, I had visual snow, vision changes. There were periods of time where I had trouble sleeping. There were periods of time that I could sleep all the time. There were periods of time that I was scared 24/7. There were periods of time where I was depressed. There were times where I was experiencing DPDR. There were times where I was jumpy, panicky, sensitive to everything and anything, be it sound, be it light. There were periods of time where I had mood swings and I was very jumpy and easily annoyed, and periods of time where I felt flat and empty and completely disconnected from everything and everyone, and I didn't care about anything anymore. I also had intrusive thoughts. My biggest fears was getting sick, illnesses, obviously, as people with health anxiety tend to have, and dying suddenly. What's gonna happen after I die? Is there something after that? All of those things and more. So I know how anxiety feels, and the fact that I got to a point where I was fully agoraphobic is kind of telling. And I know how easily our mind can convince us that there is something terribly wrong, even though there's not. And I know that people with anxiety often think that they are somehow broken, or it's some kind of a curse, or that they must have done something in the past life that they are now being punished, or I heard things like, I think I'm possessed, or I have some illness that doctors just can't seem to find, or, oh, it's because of my traumas, it's because of my past, I can never overcome this, I can never get out of this. And while our life, our past, our experiences, traumas, life changes, important moments, and all of that plays a role, it wasn't the thing that caused the anxiety. The anxiety was eventually created and kept in place by unproductive habits we develop as we go through life. Some of them we carry over from our childhood, very often. Some of them we create as we go, as we experience things, uncomfortable things, as we experience pain, emotional pain, disappointment, health scares, accidents, bad luck, everything and anything really. From every single painful moment or even good moment in our life, any moment that kind of stands out, we create certain beliefs from it, we create certain way we look at the world, and we look at our experiences, and we are developing patterns naturally, thinking patterns and behavioral patterns that then carry us through life. So we don't have to think about everything consciously, giving it our energy, so we don't have to think about the smallest things all the time. Our brain develops patterns, it develops little thinking shortcuts. So we basically live like halfway on autopilot, maybe more than that. And if we are the quote-unquote unlucky ones who develop patterns that are unproductive, they're unhelpful, and they actually contribute to stress and anxiety, which might be the tendency to overthink, overanalyze everything, not being able to let things go, being a people pleaser, not being able to deal with emotions the healthy way, many more. If we develop patterns like that, eventually we will start feeling it. And it starts more like emotional, right? More nervousness than other people, more often scared than others. Small issues like social anxiety and health anxiety, but mild. Nothing that would complicate your life, you just feel it. But over time, it grows stronger and stronger as we keep engaging in those patterns, and we are basically resisting discomfort. We learn to resist discomfort more and more. The caveat is that our brain takes resistance to discomfort as a confirmation of danger, as a confirmation of threat, as a confirmation of problem. If there is something in my life that I don't like and I can't fix it, and it can be when you are suffering from anxiety, when your nervous system is dysregulated and you are having those physical symptoms. It can be resistance towards those physical symptoms. If, for example, you also have mental symptoms, a lot of intrusive thoughts and a lot of worries, and it seems like your mind never stops thinking, resistance to that is also translated to the primitive parts of your brain as, yes, there is danger, there is problem, there is threat, and we need to be ready. We need to be geared up. So without even realizing, people create anxiety through resistance towards just the day-to-day stressors and discomforts and events in their life, basically events that cause them some type of emotional, mental, or physical discomfort, and they are unable to deal with it in a healthier way. So instead of kind of like accepting that uncomfortable thing that's happening and trying to get through it, people tend to add more stress through resistance and trying to fix things they very often can't fix or control. And as that happens, as that grows over time, when the nervous system is in this survival mode for a prolonged period of time, body starts reacting with physical symptoms. They start appearing. It's increased reactivity. That means the peak stress response, right? Panic, DPDR, which is fight or flight, freeze, fawn. We all know it. Apart from that, the longer people are sensitized, the more symptoms that are more of that chronic nature start appearing. Issues with digestion, issues with sleep, issues with immune system, allergies, so many things. People develop pains from like the constant tension in their body. There is muscle pain, there is joint pain. There can be so many ways anxiety can affect people, especially the longer they live with it. And so many people then start focusing on, I need to fix this, right? I have 10,000 problems. I have this symptom, that symptom, and I have this emotional thing, and then my mind is doing this, my mind is doing that, my head is trying to destroy me, I can't live with myself, I hate this brain. But what if the issue this whole time really isn't the symptoms? Those are actually the consequence. The issue is still the way you are reacting to them. Just like before the issue was that started creating the anxiety in the background. The issue before was your resistance towards the things that you couldn't predict or control or change. And now the resistance is just, turned towards your symptoms, what your body is doing, how you mentally feel, how you emotionally feel. But that it's still resistance. So the only thing it will continue to do is it's gonna keep telling the primitive parts of your brain that you're in danger, there is looming threat all the time, and you need to be protected. And the only way your brain has to protect you is more stress hormones. Keep you fight ready, battle ready, keep you prepared for any danger or any problem that might come. So you never are really living. You don't let your nervous system rest. You are in this constant state of either fighting, when you're trying to fix anxiety, figure it out, get rid of it, you're either continuously all the time fighting something, or you are waiting for the bad thing to come to you. You never really are living, letting your nervous system rest and regulate itself, because your nervous system can do it. Your nervous system knows how to. And I know it can be frustrating, and I know that everyone would like to find that quick fix overnight. But from experience, as someone who was trying to find it, and over time it only made everything worse. And after I recovered, I realized and recognized that there is no quick fix. It does not exist. Because even if I would find a medication that would be just right for me to a point where the symptoms would decrease or even disappear, well, if I keep the patterns that created the anxiety, then the moment I stop taking the medication, or even while I'm still on it, but I still keep engaging with life the way I was before, the stress is still gonna keep rising, and eventually the medication won't be able to mask it. So even if there was something that would bring immediate relief, if I never would work on my patterns, the unhelpful and unproductive patterns of thinking and behavior, then the anxiety would just come back or never leave. And however frustrating it is, I want to tell you, you're not broken, and you can get rid of anxiety. You can recover from it. But it requires your willingness to feel the discomfort and change the things that got you in trouble. Unless you are willing to start changing those things, changing those patterns, and doing it knowing that, hey, I'm doing this for me, I'm doing this for my future, this is something that needs to be done, then no one can really help you. But the fact is that no one is going to come either and give you a cookie for suffering. So whenever you feel ready, I promise, anxiety recovery is possible, it's doable. I've done it, people I know have done it, and people we helped with my colleagues, they recovered too. So it's not something that's reserved only for a few people. I've seen so many recover throughout those last 5 years. So I know what works and how it works. So please, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'm gonna be more than happy to make more videos or reply to your comments and try to point you in the right direction. And then obviously, who would be making a video if they didn't have anything to offer, right? 2025. If you want help, if you want someone to make it simpler for you, we have a course. And links are gonna be there. I'm not forcing you. I recovered without a course. I recovered without anyone helping me, because back then, those years ago, there wasn't much on the acceptance approach online. It was very, very rare and hard to find. I didn't have many options, so I had to recover on my own. So I'm not forcing you, and I'm not telling you you can't do it without us. You absolutely can. But if you want to simplify it, we're here.